Nandini, with that question, keep ready. Whatever the question is, keep ready on your laptop. If this doesn't go, send me to me on WhatsApp. Okay. 1 minute. YouTube is live. This is what I need.
Is it already open? That I'm living in the light, not in the dark.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this wonderful meeting. I said wonderful because today's meeting is a very special one. The meeting is held for people and members who are very active in the church during this pandemic. Really thank you for all your services that you have been doing. To welcome His Excellency, may I request our Vice President, Mr. Bong, to say a few words.
Good morning, brothers and sisters in Christ. Today, we may not be able to meet our dear bishop face to face, but we thank the parish and the bishop's house that they allowed us to meet him virtually. So, our dear brothers and sisters in the volunteers, choir, lectors, the family ministries, the Bible study group, the catechist, the IT and the live streaming, without further ado, we would like to welcome our dear Bishop Paul Hinder on this meeting. Welcome, dear Bishop.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bong. May I now request His Excellency Bishop Paul Hinder to say a few words to us.
Yeah, I am expecting words from you, of course. But first of all, peace be with you and happy Feast of Pentecost. As I understand, I am meeting now the people who are, I would say, the wheels on which the machine of the parish is going forward, because without you, nothing would go around. So thank you for this, your ministry being on the open scene or behind the curtain, because many things are done by you, we can't see, but nevertheless they are very effective and guarantee the vitality of this parish. So thank you, and I'm happy to meet you this morning. I'm interested to hear a little bit from you what are the concerns in your hearts or in your minds. Thank you.
Thank you, Bishop. I know many of our friends are right now still in the church and serving for various masses that are going on. Before we start, let me tell you, this meeting is for you to raise your concerns, to give feedbacks, any complaints or any suggestions that you have, so that we can hear it out to the bishop. A few points before we start. Please note, there are no priests part of this meeting, so it's you and His Excellency who are going to hear this. Members on the Zoom, request you always keep your mic mute. If you have any questions, raise your hands virtually, so our admin person will admit you. If you have any questions and you're not on Zoom and listening to us on YouTube, please WhatsApp us on this number 056 306 2052. Again, 056 306 2052. So please send us your questions and we'll hear it live. Now we already have a request from one of the volunteers, as I'm sitting here. So we have a representative from the volunteers from our parish council, Mr. Elvis, would like to speak.
Good morning, Your Excellency Bishop. Good morning, everyone. My name is Elvis, and I represent the volunteers group. A short briefing I would like to give on the volunteers group. That as of date, we have around 105 volunteers who are serving for various services. And they belong to different communities, different groups, and different nationalities. Now, as you know, that this group was introduced during the pandemic times when the churches were reopened for our parishioners. We all are fully dedicated, devoted, and committed towards our service. We have monthly meetings and we have thorough training sessions which are headed by Parish Priest Father Johnson under the guidelines of the DCD. Now, the major highlights what I would like to throw is during the Christmas, the Holy Week, and the First Holy Communion and the confirmation, that we did a very good job, effortlessly, selflessly. We did a service to serve the people of our parish. And we hope that we continue to give our best, as we all say in one word, that we are all one and we serve all. My question and our question on behalf of the volunteers to you, Your Excellency, is how do you think that we'll be more effective and more quality of service that we can give according to you? Thank you.
Obviously, I'm not directly involved in your service. I can only see it from far away and the good results. It's not easy to give you any answer right now from my seat, as I do not have a look into the daily going on. What I have seen until now, that it works amazingly well. Of course, I can imagine that you sometimes are exposed to critical situations when people want to come to church and have no space, or have not registered, at least for masses where that is needed, or they do not understand why we cannot make an exception, and so on. So it requires, especially also from you, quite a lot of, I would say, delicacy in dealing with the people who are coming to the church. But for the rest, I would say I'm very grateful because I know you are sacrificing time, energy. It goes at the price, be it of your life in the family or maybe also sometimes even of your work. And I appreciate your dedication and your commitment. But for the rest, maybe if you have more particular questions regarding your service or doubts, please don't hesitate to ask me now. Then you may also be able to individualize better the problem.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you for your kind words. Now we have Miss Emma from the choir who would like to say a few words. Miss Emma.
Good morning, Your Excellency, and good morning, everybody. We are grateful that we have been given chance to be a part of this your pastoral visit, and we are here to cooperate and support the church in rendering our service to animate the mass by singing in the choir. And during the part of our early times when we opened, we are around 30 members of the choir or cantors that have been serving in each mass, 3 members each mass. Now that we have multiplied our masses, meaning to say that the mass is not only extended to the 3 venue, but each venue have priest and complete with the lector. So our members grew to 150. But since it's a pandemic and many loses their job, we goes down to around 120 at the moment. Thank you very much to Father Johnson, who have given us the chance to serve, and especially to Father Abishai, who is guiding us in the liturgy, in singing. And thank you for your response during the pastoral visit last time, that we have asked for a priest who will guide us to sing the liturgical songs, the appropriate hymns for the each masses, and we are grateful for that, so that we are all prepared for the mass. The only thing that we would like to know, we are trying to do our best. Bishop, during the mass, is there anything more that you want us to address or focus to improve our service?
I can't say that in a general way only. At certain moments when I am celebrating the Mass, it can happen that I observe something. Usually I am then contacting Father Abishai as the person who is the best to convey the message if it is needed. But for the rest, I think there is no major problem. Sometimes I feel not every crew is able to take over the sound or the tone which I am using during the liturgy, because I'm normally following what is in the official English edition, even in the notation. But generally, it works well, especially since Father Abishai is taking care of that. There is no major problem. If there would be one, I would communicate it to him or through him. Okay. Thank you, anyhow. Generally, I feel the singing is very good.
Thank you very much, my Lord.
Okay, thank you, Bishop. Now we have a small video from the Catechism students who would like to welcome His Excellency for the pastoral visit.
is Jacob Val.
And I am Julia Maria.
We are very happy and excited.
His Most Reverend Bishop Paul.
May our
And bless you always. We can't wait to see you.
As a child of Catholic faith, I seek hope and understanding that you may enlighten us to our purpose and be inspired to help many others believe that during these uncertain times, the only certain is God will never abandon us. Again, extending my warm welcome to His Excellency Bishop Paul Hinder, please accept my simple sketch portrait of you with love.
Dear Bishop Paul, we are super excited about your pastoral visit. We love you, Bishop Paul, and we want you to know that you are an expression of God's love. Thank you for being our shepherd, preacher, guide, teacher, and friend. I am blessed to be a part of our church catechism. Online class is a challenge for me, but still I become closer to God. As every week's class is fun and full of learning.
I'm certain that all the teens in the youth ministry would be elated to pray with you and receive your blessings. Even during this difficult situation, us teens have been staying strong in our faith, and we are continuing to learn about Jesus' Word each day through the online sessions conducted by the church. Hopefully, we can all partake in and celebrate the Holy Eucharist with you very soon.
Dear Bishop, we welcome you to our St. Joseph Parish.
We miss seeing you around because now we have online catechism classes.
Thank you for being a loving shepherd to us.
Hope we pass these challenging times and see you soon in Friday catechism classes.
We love you and pray that God bless you always.
This pastoral visit is a little bit different from the previous years. We are meeting virtually. But hey, it's the same faces. The bond and the love we share remains unchanged, and it will always remain the same. On account of that same love and sharing, we have with us our very own Bishop Paul Hinder, and it's my pleasure and a blessing for us all to welcome you, Bishop, to our Life Team family.
Cute video from the catechism students. Now we have the next question coming from the lectors ministry. They would like to know that for the time being, church is not open for any kind of training. So can we please request to open our ministry to our youngsters and encourage them to join in the lectors ministry? Probably the training can be given on Zoom and the final training can be given in church. Thank you.
Yeah, from my side, there is no problem. Opposite is true. And I wish that there will be you and the younger also people being integrated in different ministries. It's not only the lectors. For example, I'm also missing the altar service and ministry that has completely disappeared because of the pandemic. And I hope that the conditions soon will be changed, and if we cannot go back to the normality before, but at least that certain things are more easily possible. Then the training, that's correct, it can partly be done also on Zoom, but I hope that soon we have more possibilities also in physical presence of the people for certain activities. I hope.
We all hope that. Thank you, Bishop. Now we have Marcus on the Zoom who has asked a question.
Thank you, Royden. Good morning, Monseigneur. Good morning, everyone. I'm here on behalf of the team of catechists of Adult Confirmation and RCIA, the Rite of Christian Initiation for Adults. In short, we call it Adult Catechism. And in very few words, I would like to just share with you a beautiful experience we've made, but that also is reason for concerns, which I would like to share with you, and which we would like to address with a proposal. So what we have experienced right at the beginning of the COVID outbreak and the lockdown was how we easily switched, very quickly adapted to teaching on an online format. Within the first 2 weeks of the lockdown, we were offering our catechism classes 100% on Zoom. And as a matter of fact, with even 100% attendance. Now, this has also proven, thanks to the great support of the Office of Christian Formation, as a head start that we were able to share with catechists all over the Vicariate. And we were in touch with catechists in Muscat, in Sharjah, training them how to use Zoom for their online classes. And in return, afterwards, they were providing us material, sometimes on very short notice, when we had to organize the adult confirmation seminar within very few days for over 40 participants, 100% online. So you might say, in conclusion, this traumatic experience that COVID had, and the lockdown in particular, this deprivation of the sacraments, it had a silver lining where it did show in some areas a great level of adaptability, a great level of innovation, and even cooperation throughout the Vicariate. But this beautiful experience is for us reason of complacency, because now that we're talking more and more about more and more vaccinations, about reaching the end of the tunnel, seeing light at the end of the tunnel, we witness this overwhelming hope, maybe even wishful thinking, that we will return to a normal, but the normal of January 2020. It's like we will enter into a time machine and that will fly us back to January 2020 as if COVID never happened. But deep down, many of us know actually that some of these changes, some that we're still going through, will actually be permanent or long lasting. And the frustrating but also challenging experience is that right now we're not even able to define those changes that will be long lasting, that will outlast COVID and the end of the pandemic. Maybe we will keep teaching online, maybe in a hybrid format. Whereas if you listen to people, just like we listen now to this video, the overwhelming hope is we will go back to the classrooms 100%. Is that true? How kind of feasible is that? And so what we would like to propose is maybe this big brainstorming conference of these brilliant minds that we have in the Vicariate, in the Office of Christian Formation, in our parish, to really start addressing what are those changes that could be permanent, and for us this time to be really adaptable and to be really innovative and be prepared for these long-lasting changes that have come as a result of COVID but will outlast it.
Thank you. Of course, about that we could speak a whole day and make a seminar, or if you prefer, a webinar. I agree with you that I am deeply convinced that certain results of the experience of this COVID time will remain, be it in the given forms or in an innovative form, but beyond I would say, this immediate crisis. It might not be easy to define now, but we have to keep it in mind, especially what I feel, but that is not only due to COVID. The situation is what we need within the Vicariate is more collaboration between the parishes to profit of the different talents and resources we have. And that, of course, can be more easily shared and in a fast way shared when we use this modern the technology. We cannot always have the meetings in physical presence. What worries me is a little bit the loss, or the risk of loss of, I would say, the sacramental character of the church, where we have to feel, to touch, to to smell, to eat, to drink, and so on. Human existence is more than the quality of a screen. So one should be supplementary help for the other. But I agree with you again, we shouldn't lose what we learned during this time and keep it alive. That can be, for example, also for the catechism. I had a discussion with somebody else. Maybe for the sheer lack of space, we have to remain with the blended teaching for catechism to have more possibilities to vary to give everybody the chance to be partly in physical presence and partly in the virtual teaching, to take this example. And that can be true also for others, for example, for retreats in the parishes, for certain groups and so on, because at the very end, it's also a question of the finances. When we have to always to import people from I don't know where in the world, it's a question also of the money, and our resources are not, or at least no more unlimited. We have to be a little bit more careful. So probably also the fact that we have to look a little bit more at our budget will help you, will help us to keep many things alive we learned during this time, and to be more innovative in this regard, especially with the young people who are familiar more easily than an old man than like me with this modern technology. It will be a help to go forward with them and to integrate them better, because as soon as they are given a task, they are also more committed, without any doubt.
Okay. Our next
Thank you,
question
Monsignor.
is
Thank you very
on
much.
WhatsApp. So this question is, first of all, congratulations to all catechists. Now that the Holy See named the catechetical service a ministry, it will be convenient to understand the differences between the two categories. Can His Excellency explain to us, please?
First of all, I have myself to make deeper studies of the document. I see that we will have in the future kind of two categories. We surely will we need the volunteer catechists also in future, because not everybody will have the time and the skill to undergo the more intense formation and education as a catechist. But to work out I would say the rules for the permanent, and I would say in this sense a kind of professional catechism or catechist, we will have to work it out first. Of course, partly we had already elements in our vicariate, as it has been the case in many parts of the world, in Africa, in Latin America. It's not something absolutely new. Only the Holy Father, Pope Francis, has given it a special form now, and a mission also to the bishops to work it out according to the situation in the respective countries. And that we have to do also here in the Gulf, in the collaboration, especially between the two vicariates, because with the rest of the Middle East, it's a little bit more difficult. There are mainly Arabic-speaking people in Lebanon, in Iraq, in Egypt, in Jordan, and so on. But here in Arabia, with this migrant church, I think we have a potential we can develop. But I can't give you now the rules of this ministry of the catechism, more established and perpetually stably established.
Thank you, Bishop. Now, as we all know, when the pandemic struck, we all had to shut down the church. And the only lifeline that we had was internet. Everything shifted online. All we had to do was just sit at home and watch the Mass and hear the Holy Eucharist. So all this happened because of a team, and mainly that's the IT department. So now we have Mr. Conrad from IT who would like to say a few words.
Can I have the presentation, please? Good morning, Bishop.
Good morning.
First of all, I would like to thank the Parish Council, Parish Priest for giving us the opportunity to come and present our work that we have been doing for last 1 year. In fact, we are born just 1 year back. It's after the COVID. So we started our first mass booking on 17th of July 2020. So in fact, our software was designed from India, but due to some problems, we changed it in October 2020. So all the statistics that I'm giving now is from October 2020. So we have already had 827 masses that have been done for booking, where the seats were available 188,000, but people who opted or they registered was 169,000. But in the last 3 months, we had 290 masses where 75,000 seats were available and 63,000 people have attended those services. So number of people who are registered on our system is 39,805. So out of which, there's a correction over here, number of registrations is 162,263. That's the number of people who have registered. The allocations were 152,000. So still 17,000 were not allotted. The reason is it was overbooking because of the limitation of seats. From October 2020, 8,990 people have not attended any services. So possibly they must have left the country or they must not have got the slot they have looked for. But there are 11,000 who have attended one service. Likewise, 5,000 have attended 2 services, 3,000 have attended 3 services. But there is, if you look at the top 80, there's one person who has attended 82 masses in last, from October. So which means there's a possibility of people attending more masses. So this is the statistics of that. Currently, we have got mass booking on weekends and also on public holidays. This is to limit the crowd. Weekdays, there's no booking, it's open for all. Some language masses, we have stopped the booking now. Like for example, Korean mass, Arabic, and now we have started with Sri Lankan and Urdu. So these masses, because there's not much crowd, so parishioners, faithful, so we have reduced or we have made it open to all. But one of the challenge that we always have got is people do booking and they don't come for mass. So I'll give you statistics later. So they don't come for mass, which means they don't come and they also block others from coming into that service. So sometimes the church is booked, but we have got at least 20-30 seats still available. The live streaming we started on 17th of March 2020. The 7 p.m. mass was the first live streamed mass. And then from that day, we have got masses on every day from morning 6:30 a.m. and 7 p.m. mass that has been live streamed. Friday, we do have all the language masses, especially Tagalog, Malayalam, and then Sunday Arabic as well. Next slide. So number of subscribers on our YouTube channel is 22,182. Total masses live stream so far is 1,081. We have also live streaming the catechism classes, the Lenten mission, confirmation, first Holy Communion, Holy Week services, Christmas services, and last December the Simbangabi was also a major program that we had. This is just a statistics. We have 2,200,000 viewers on our channel. The last April, during the Holy Week, we had 35,000 on one day on YouTube. This is the statistics of last 28 days. The Sunday evening 7 p.m. mass is always the most viewers are there. people attending the service. Just a little more analytics. We have the males are attending more services. We have people between 35 years and 44 years are attending more services. They are 28% of our viewers. 48% of our viewers are from UAE. We have 18% from India, and then we have got US, Oman, and the rest. The traffic is mainly coming through the WhatsApp, the Facebook. St. Joseph's Cathedral, that's the main source, YouTube search. We also have, our YouTube is also streamed on St. Joseph's Cathedral Facebook, KPAT, that is the Catholica Pinoysa Abu Dhabi Facebook page. Our YouTube channel. There are some channels from India, peace be with you. They also use our YouTube streaming. Divine World TV, this is a TV in South India, so they also use masses. Okay, just before I conclude, I would like to call Sanjog. Sanjog is the one who designed our software. In fact, he's a computer engineer, but very soon he's going to be a pilot. But even with his busy schedule, he designed the software for us. He saved us from all the problems that we had in the past. And another thing I would like to say is now the same software is being used in all the parishes in Oman, and also now they have started in Musafa, and there's one parish in Bombay as well. Yeah, and there are inquiries coming from Jebel Ali and Sharjah also. I think they inquired about it. Anything from Sanjog?
No, it was my pleasure to provide service. It was a learning opportunity for me, and I enjoyed it very much.
Thank you, because without this service, we would have lost the presence in the reality of our church. But it was really a service which helped us a lot to make the bridge. And as it has been said in the previous topic, many things will have to be kept also for the future. Just a question regarding these people who are registering and not coming. If there is a possibility, I don't know, I am not a specialist, that I would say people who are, for example, twice not coming, that there would be a system to keep them on the waiting list and not give them the opportunity to register unless they give an information beforehand. Because it's not correct that people, a bigger number is simply by commodity registering and keeping the place, the seat free without giving it to somebody else.
We did start a procedure. What we did was, if someone is absent, we were adding 2 masses for them. So what happens is, even if they have not attended 1 mass, the system was detecting as they have attended 2 masses. So by doing this, what we achieved is, our system is designed to give priority for people who have attended less masses. So they were automatically pushed at the back, at the end. So people who have attended less masses were getting more chance to attend the services. But in the last 4 months, we have not done that. So hopefully we will continue to do that again, because the numbers are simply increasing. I mean, people are just registering and they don't come. Yeah. So we will start doing that again.
Okay.
So thank you, Bishop.
Thank you for this excellent work. Thank you.
Thank you, Condish. Thank you, Sanjog, for that wonderful system that you have given up. As Bishop said, and I would like to exert on these people, if you register, please come for masses, because you are disappointing the others who would love to attend mass, but they cannot. As volunteers, we see a lot of people standing outside the church. They want to attend masses, and they cannot because they could not register. But when we see the church is still empty, and we allow them in. So please, if you're registering, do come for mass. Next, we have someone on the Zoom, Mr. Alex, who would like to ask a question.
Good morning, Your Excellency Bishop Paul Hinder. First of all, we would like to thank our parish priest, Father Johnson, for giving all of us this wonderful opportunity to serve the church, especially in the form of volunteers. As you mentioned, Bishop, it is not very easy for us volunteers to be out there because we are directly in the line of fire. I would say that, because if anyone comes in who's carrying a potential chance of COVID, we are in direct line to catch the virus ourselves. With regards to this, there are a few concerns which we have, which we would like to raise. The first concern being for the masses. We are really thankful that many of our parishioners do follow the rules and regulations, and they sit accordingly to how we request them. But it's been for a long time that we have noticed that during the Arabic service, no matter how hard we try to explain to the parishioners for the Arabic services, it's just not possible to get them to understand the necessity of following the rules and regulations, what is given to us by our parish priest, and it becomes difficult serving our parishioners in such a way. With this regard, what could we do to solve this
Just a question. What are the main, let's say, abuses in this regard?
With this regard, it's normally for the seating allotment, when we request them to
Not
follow
keeping the distance or what?
not keeping the distance is, first of all, some of them do not wear the masks. We have to constantly tell them to put the mask in a proper manner. Then some of them are sitting in random places wherever they feel like sitting. They do not follow the procedure of how to be sitting, so they are crossing each other's path. And if we ask them to maintain distance during certain times, they do not wish to follow those rules, and they open, especially in the compound, they walk around without the masks, and we have to constantly keep reminding them and telling them to wear the mask, because it is still outdoor, it's a public place, and the possibility of carrying the virus and spreading it around is high.
Yeah, I can only tell they behave during the COVID as they behaved before. It is very difficult to discipline them in several regards. I know that Father Eli, I think he tries to do the best, but it has always been a problem that the voice of the respective priest either was too weak or was not listened. And I remember the time when Father Eugene was parish priest. He had several battles with the Arabic community in similar regards. And insofar, it's not an excuse, it's not a joy, but a little bit the consolation that the problem is not new. And we can only hope that the best would be sometimes to ask the DCD to come to see during that time. They will probably get more attention by the Arabs than our own people. That's an additional problem. By the way, how many volunteers have they?
I'll answer the question. The Arabic volunteers, Bishop?
Yeah.
The Arabic community.
Yeah.
We have around 7 to 8 of them who help us.
Okay. And they too, they don't have the authority. Yeah. So, excuse, I have no solution for that unless methods which are not necessary according to the gospel of Jesus.
Thank you, Bishop. We will keep trying, we always try, but we will keep trying to do something.
By the way, a small thing, I don't know if anybody is around. I noticed that Monday morning, very often, the barriers are put on the wrong place. That means when I'm coming early in the Monday morning to the church, I cannot enter the entrance to the hall, I would say.
That's our fault, Bishop, but there's a reason behind it. Okay, what happens is, after Mass, the last Mass on Sunday, so once St. Joseph's is full, people don't listen to go to St. Joseph's. They fight with the volunteers on the ground.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we pull the barriers in front so that no one goes to St. Joseph's.
Yeah.
So it's actually that hard for us to control the crowd. So that's it. But we'll make sure next time after the Mass,
It's a question after the Mass. I mean, the rest I understand.
we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay. Now we have Mr. J.R. from our volunteer group also would like to say something.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. Good afternoon, brother.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, I am Mendoza and I belong to the volunteer ushers group, and I really look for this wonderful of being able to attend the past year through online medium. So, first of all, Bishop Paul, I don't have any question actually. Just like to express our sincere and utmost gratitude to you, Bishop Paul, for being our guide and pastor and teacher in St. Joseph Church. So I've been here in UAE with my wife for 10 years, and I've been been a parishioner for St. Joseph Church. And with that being, I'm also a member of Couples for Christ family ministry here in UAE. And half of the Couple of Christ and Ushers Group and my family as well, we'd like to thank you for your service. And with that, we'd like to ensure that we are always praying for you, and along with all the priests, including Father Troy, Father Johnson. And we thank you for giving us this wonderful opportunity to serve the Lord, being ushers, being MPC coordinators, and being normal parishioners as well. So thank you, Bishop Paul, and God bless you more. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Okay, God bless you.
Okay. Now we have a catechist, Ms. Lata, who would like to say something.
Your Excellency, in September 2020, when Catechism Office came up with the idea of online video sessions, we were a bit apprehensive. Will it work? But then all the teachers took it very seriously and worked on the lessons very sincerely. From the survey that was conducted at the end of the catechetical year, I should say that the sessions were well received by students. Many parents have also said that they watched the sessions and it was a learning experience for them also. One thing is that I was really happy. Our scripts were always evaluated with due diligence by Sister Shelja and Father Johnson. This ensured that the teaching of catechists are in strict accordance with the teachings of the Church. Thank you, Catechism Office, for the brilliant support, and a word of thanks to Mr. Thomas, who guided us well with Google assessment forms. Bishop, I would also propose a refresher course for the existing catechist. Now, my question to you is that as next catechetical year is starting, a new catechist will be joining. Will Church provide ECOS training for them? Thank you.
I didn't understand the last question.
As next catechetical year is starting, yes, the new catechist will be joining.
Yeah.
Will Church provide ECOS training for them?
That time we have to discuss that with the priests who are in charge, or with the officers of the formation. That should be the case. We cannot simply accept catechists without training. That is obvious. But that we have to look.
Now we have Mr. Adrian from the Letters who would like to say something.
Is there anybody to take
Can I be?
Yes.
Your mic is mute, Adrian. Sorry, your mic is mute.
Am I audible now?
Now it's fine.
Yeah. Your Excellency, I represent the 176 lectors who are registered on the lectors application, which has also been devised to cope with the problems we faced for entry, etc., the restrictions. This is also devised by Sanjo, and I would like to publicly acknowledge and with gratitude his assistance by coming up with the lectors app, which we use right now. I would like to address one of the questions which was raised before you at the beginning of this session, which is about training of new catechists, new lectors. Yes, we do have programs which are envisaged. The first of which is planned for July, and this is going to target those, particularly those who have received their confirmation during these 3 days, because the emphasis is to get in more young readers.
Good.
We have faced our own problems getting lectors, particularly because of the extra number of masses which we have to cater for. For example, during the 24th, 25th, and 26th of December, we had to provide 173 lectors, which had its own problems. We do face problems now, particularly for the weekday masses, where there's only one lector nominated, and if due to an exigency, the lector doesn't turn up, there is an issue because there are no standbys. Again, I keep receiving time and again messages and queries from lectors who have reached the age of 60. Up to now, we only accommodate, as per directions from the parish office, we only accommodate for readings those who are up to the age of 60. Once you reach the age of 60, no more readings are given. Is there any guideline in this regard? Suppose those above 60 are vaccinated. Can they be given readings? I do believe that our emphasis should be on the youth, but I'm only raising this because I repeatedly get these questions in.
Of course, it's not on me to change the rules. You can only ask that they be changed or to get special permissions. I think the age limit definitely should change in the future. Anyhow, I don't see why certain people, because of the age, should be excluded from the service in the church, be it for ministerial reasons, for simply to participate in the life of the church. But of course, sometimes we are passing we have to face problems which are, I would say, produced by others. They may derogate. For example, DCD, we can discuss with them. Sometimes they change a little bit. Sometimes they remain very strict. Now, regarding the readers' service, I think there should be a possibility that people who have got the confirmation later, they can be started to be trained for this ministry. It needs a little bit flexibility and prudence, but of course it has to be resolved first of all on the level of the parish, because anyhow we don't have general rules for, not even for the whole UAE. Forget then for the whole vicariate, because the situations are quite different from one country to the other.
Thank you, Bishop. We have our next question again on WhatsApp. This is, Dear Bishop, social distancing is now a term that is very common and widely followed in public. The concern is that distancing is not only social any longer and is slowly percolating to distancing also from the Eucharist and faith formation. As a catechist, we now have limited access to physical meeting students and developing a rapport. Seek your advice on what steps should we take to convince parents and students from not registering their children's attendance in catechism classes are just a mere formality.
Yeah, that's a more difficult question because we have to deal with given freedom to make the choice. It's the same, by the way, partly also for the schools, as I am informed, that we cannot necessarily force the people to be physically present. What I am also worried about, that I mentioned it before, regarding the sacramental character of our life, that we cannot live only virtually. Also, it's an important tool we will keep also after the pandemic. But we need physical contacts to keep and maintain the human relationship, that's without any doubt. Now, how to mobilize those people who are refusing it, that's a more difficult problem, which I have no solution right now, because that's only can be done only on the way of conviction from person to person. First, you have to get in touch virtually with the people, and then maybe one day it will be possible to get them back to the reality of the physical gathering, be it for the children themselves, be it for the parents.
Okay. We'll be reading if anybody else has any other questions, either on WhatsApp or Zoom. Could you raise your hands or please message us? We'll be able to take only one last question. And if nothing is coming, then we will be winding up. Okay, I think we just received one question. We'll just wait for them to process it.
Yeah, there's someone.
Ms. Emma would like to ask something. Ms. Emma, okay.
Good afternoon once again. I received a concern, my Lord, and I want to address it to all of us. We are all in the service ministry. It is not much of concern of Bishop, but for all of us. The message is we have a very unwelcoming experience with several ushers from the 4:30 p.m. Mass on Sunday and also at 6:30 during Fridays. They are very rude and treated the parishioners as if they are acting like a big person in authority. While we understand that the role of ushers are vital in the church, we humbly request that they be reminded to speak gently and kindly and treat the parishioners with love as how they would also want to be treated. So it's a matter, once again, Father Johnson keeps on reiterating to please treat people as human, not people under us, or even though they are under us, they have come all the way just to pray. So let us be gentle with them. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Nothing to be added. That is a general rule in the church. Of course, I understand that sometimes there are cases where also the faithful are not always properly behaving and treating the ushers probably also not always in the right way. But you are absolutely right. It's the principle also which I am telling the priests again and again. Treat the people in a way, in a gentle way, take them as partners and not as subjects. That is very important. Otherwise, our relationship is falsified.
Thank you, Bishop. We have one more person who would like to speak. Can we have on Zoom, please?
Good morning, Bishop Paul, and thank you for being with us this morning. One question from most of our teenagers. They are missing the big event of every year, of TUF, and they keep asking us what's going to happen about when are we going to have TUF and when are we going to get together again. I know that's something that's going to be difficult for some time, but perhaps at some point of time, if we can have you online on a session with them, would be really nice, and just boost their spirits up a little bit. The other is in response to an earlier question about training echoes. I think Sister Shelja usually has it by the end of November, early December for all catechists. But last year we have not had any new catechists, so it probably would happen online or live, whichever is first. But having said that, the Office of Christian Formation also offers training online through the VLCFF, the University of Dayton. And I think not just the catechist, even anyone across in all parish ministries can register on the courses and be a part of it. So you can grow in faith and learn more about the faith. So that's my suggestion.
Yes, okay. Nothing to add. By the way, the virtual TUF meeting should be, I think it's already in the mind that it will happen before we can go back to physical meetings.
Thank you, Bishop. We can just list one video on Zoom. We have Joyce who would like to say something. And this will be the last one because we are running out of time now. She's not on Zoom. Okay, I think we lost her. She's there. Okay, our question is here. I would like to saying, dear Bishop, with regards to the IT cell, suggestion to expand
regards to
information technology cell, IT.
IT.
Yeah. Suggestion to expand the IT cell by involving more parishioners in different areas, like helping with the website and even posters as required, and enhance it with new ideas.
Yeah. Most welcome.
Okay. We are already running out of time, so we will not have any more questions. May I request His Excellency Bishop Paul to please say his final message and give us his blessing, please.
Well, as I said at the beginning, with the comparison of two wheels, car cannot go ahead if there are no wheels. And in our parish, we need more than 4 wheels. That's not a 4-wheel trial. It's a multi-wheel trial. And you are these wheels which keep moving the parish. And you deserve my gratitude from the bishop, and also you need the gratitude of all the priests who are pastorally responsible, mainly responsible for the parish. So thank you for the activities in the different fields. You are the backbone, I would say, of the parish for these many different fields. And I can only hope that you continue to work together, and that you keep an eye also on people who can follow you, as we said, because we are permanently in change. And it is important, especially to integrate young people and to make them also motivated to collaborate with us in the community of the parish. So just blessings to all of you. Thank you. I keep you in my prayers, and I ask you also to give me in your prayers. Maybe the next, or most probably the next pastoral visit, you will have already a new face, be it the replacement or at least one who will be introduced by me in his new function. I hope so that it will be the case at least within 1 year, hopefully. Okay.
God bless you, Bishop.
Maybe I will find blessing, please. I will remain seated, but otherwise I'm in the wrong position. So, the Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
May Almighty God bless you and keep you, the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Okay. Happy Pentecost again.
Thank you, Bishop.
Thank you,
Thank you, Bishop.
Thank you, my Lord.
Okay, thank you.